important one here as LogiSwords and MicroFish take center stage for the final match of week 4 here. These two squads, MicroFish are with that last match between Blazing Magi and Moldy Milkers. MicroFish are officially eliminated from contention. Believe they might have been eliminated to begin with, but now they are like officially eliminated. On the other side, LogiSwords looking to battle Blazing Magi for that first seed. You do not want to play Rush Hour going into playoffs for the first matchup. It's destined to just probably put you in loser's bracket. I think a lot of people are going to be playing for second. We'll see how this goes though. Going to go to Atlas. It really is Rush Hour just seeming to be head and shoulders better than the rest of the teams this season. Interestingly enough, we got 2 damage bots here. Damage and tank bots seem to be the most popular. We only have 1 support bot in the league. The team running it is not doing very hot, but gotta wonder if more people should have tested it with the support bot and seen if their team might have been better with it. No one has really tried it outside of AI, the team that I just set support bot for and let them go. I do hope to have another competitor in next season of Overbots. Gonna be repping that Sombra versus the Reaper here. I think the Reaper is a bit of a better bot. Sombra, of course, not on a team this season, but I think she has her own merits. Alright, here we go. Here comes MicroFish. Looking to secure a win against one of the best teams in their division. We are playing on Atlas here. I have not yet played on this map myself in Overwatch. It's a new map in the pool here. Are we on trades? Majorly favoring none other than LogiSwords here. This is pretty much anticipated. They are going to take that first point. Start building up percentage here. Going to see another push here from MicroFish. Trades majorly favoring LogiSwords here. They're going to continue their dominance. And man, MicroFish just really struggling in this set so far. They haven't seemed to be able to find an answer for this triple tank roster yet. Now going in all alone. He does get 2 down with a slam. However, he's just going to get pretty much eaten up here. Unfortunately, his Baptiste is going to fall. Genji comes in, but he's so low, man, and the Zarya is there to help clean him up. Junkrat's going to fall, and that'll be the first point going over towards LogiSwords. Pretty much as anticipated here. We'll see where they go next. It looks like we're going up to this one. Mauga's looking to take control here. So on this point, Mauga gonna be able to take out that Bap first. So you're gonna remove Genji and Junkrat, going down to Zarya as well. Sombra's gonna fall, as well as Mauga. First take gonna be here for LogiSwords on the second point, and it's just looking more and more one-sided. MicroFish need to put something together here if they want to win a fight. They need this Riptire to do something big. Genji getting a little bit... Oh, he is going to go down with that tire. Excellent use of the ult by the Orisa there to mitigate. Reaper Mirror now. Widowmaker finding 2 at the end there, and this is going to be LogiSwords. Nearing that 60% mark. They're gonna probably take this one. MicroFish only gonna have maybe one more fight, and I doubt they're gonna make anything of it. There are there's at least one ultimate that'll actually be used by LogiSwords. Do we see the touch here from the Mauga? No, he goes too far that way. Does anyone else get it? Genji gonna get in here just in time for the touch. The Rampage does come through, and that picks up 3 members of MicroFish. So LogiSwords looking to secure this one. They are gonna have these first 2 points. I think this Mauga can get one more touch, but not gonna be enough here, as LogiSwords go up 2-0 on Atlas. They only need one more point to win this. It looks like we're gonna be in this corner now. Yes, so both sides favoring MicroFish here, but comes a Blade in a very odd position. Going in fairly deep here. He is going to lose his life to the Widowmaker SMG. LogiSwords in pretty deep. I think Orisa might lose her life for this arrogance here. Maybe not, though. I think Orisa is going to go down. She does go down, so MicroFish able to pick up 2 here. Can they turn this in their favor? Looks like Reaper able to get some work done, and so MicroFish are actually going to be able to take a point here. What they need if they want to continue winning here. Widowmaker kind of being odd off to the side here. Don't know quite what she's doing. I think she's a little stuck. Okay, she did eventually fix herself. A little bit of an asymmetric map right there with that vehicle. Quite odd, the asymmetry of Flashpoint. Here comes the horse. Does get pretty much melted immediately here by MicroFish. They do pop quite a few ults, though, to win this one. Zarya and Queen still alive. I don't think they're going to be able to win this. But they do pick up that BAP. It's a 2v2 on point now. However, Reaper and Mauga are going to get the job done. And it looks like MicroFish are actually going to be able to pick up a point here. Widowmaker coming back. Orisa going to try to contest this thing. There is a Reaper on point she has to look out for, though. Orisa probably going to go down very quickly here, as she does take full focus fire. Widowmaker going to go down here, and MicroFish able to pick up at least 1 point. Gonna have to see more of that if we want to see MicroFish in this series. Sorry, a little bit out in the open here by herself. She does just back off, doesn't want to fight that by herself. Junker Queen getting very low, however, she does bring down that Genji before. Actually, MicroFish not very much in this one at all. LogiSwords just completely taking over here. Have a full stack of ultimates, which they will not be using Zarya's or Reapers, but might not necessarily need it. Going to probably see that Death Blossom coming out of MicroFish. May see the Orisa and Queen ult, as well as the Widow. Widow, not very impactful ult in overbots, but could be used nonetheless. Does MicroFish even get in here for another fight? They seem to be a little bit stuck or something in spawn. Truly unfortunate. They have gotten stuck on this vehicle. Very unfortunate circumstance here for MicroFish. This might just be how the match ends. So unfortunate map finish here for MicroFish. They did just get stuck on a vehicle altogether, decided not to move together, and that will be the map. So, LogiSwords take this one 3-1. MicroFish did get that one map, but wasn't quite enough. LogiSwords gonna take us to the second map. We'll see where we go next. Truthfully, an atlas of all time. Blizzworld. Iconic Overbots map. Feels like we run into this one all the time. LogiSwords currently lead the series 1-0. A Bastion pickup here is absolutely massive for MicroFish. However, a May on the other side, equally massive. Two of the best DPS bots we have in this league showing themselves here. Oops, getting stuck on everything. I do want to see how the rest of the series goes. I'm really interested. If MicroFish can somehow upset LogiSwords here, Blazing Magi are going to hold sole possession of the first seed in Overbots, or in Never Back Down division, since they have one more match victory, if that is the case. However, if not, LogiSwords, even if they win 3-2, they will hold map record, so any ties will go to LogiSword between those two orgs. Now they're coming in pretty deep here. He's going to pop that second heart pretty early here. He's going to go down pretty much immediately. Junkrat able to remove Widowmaker here, and this window not quite doing enough. Bastion gonna fall here, so the triple tank efforts are gonna work out there. First attack by MicroFish is warded off. Did get that Widowmaker, but not much else came after. Okay, able to remove that Widowmaker again. Bap getting kind of deep. However, Arista is going to be next to fall. This does mean MicroFish are probably just going to take this point. One member of MicroFish does fall, but that's not going to be enough, so they are going to cap this first point. Gonna start pushing this payload, giving themselves a fighting chance in this series against the ever-dominant LogiSwords. There's already 2 picks going the way of MicroFish. They're going to start pushing this thing. Movement is going to start here. Genji gets a few. Arista's trying to run here. She will be shot down. MicroFish is moving here, so good signs from them. Despite that first map, they are moving here on Blizzworld. This Bastion has been an excellent boon. And 2 picks already going the way of MicroFish. They're going to continue moving this thing. More than likely, even if Bastion goes down here, I do expect that MicroFish should be able to clean up the rest of these kills and eventually get this thing moving again. So yes, they will. MicroFish gonna be able to take this second point, and man, The front-loaded damage just proving a little bit too much for the triple tank here. Comes the blade. Widowmaker able to remove that Genji. And LogiSwords able to get a fight win here, it looks like. Although Widowmaker's going to go down here. Orisa could fall very well too. She does. Junker Queen going to go down this Bastion. And all of a sudden Bastion helping to turn this thing around with that BAP is eventually just going to win this out. So Mei just going to stall for as long as she can. But she's not exactly stopping the cart, so they will get a little bit of extra progress off of that. 4 minutes on the clock here, and they just have to get around this third point. MicroFish putting themselves in an excellent spot to take the second map. Bastion pick has been so very clutch. Queen getting stuck there is horrible here for LogiSwords. However, BAP going down first. It's a little bit of a pick-me-up despite losing that Rampage. Genji gonna go lose his life for no reason there. Bastion is indeed stuck behind this wall. Not gonna get much value at all out of that turret for me. Is gonna just go down here. Hauka does have the cage. Of course, this Zarya ult, we know it does not get used, but that is online. Here comes the Bastion ult comboed with the Mauga. Gonna remove that Widowmaker. Zarya getting very low. She does have a ton of charge, though. She has to have a ton of charge. Genji gonna fall here. Trades, meanwhile, seeming to favor LogiSwords here, actually. Junker Queen gonna fall, though. Zarya gonna go down, and suddenly MicroFish have this. Actually, it was kind of tied for trades until MicroFish took over there. So, it was a 3v3. Okay. Only a little bit farther to push this one. Respawns for LogiSwords should be here a lot quicker. Sorry, getting very low. She is gonna fall. BAP not gonna quite make it out. However, the wind or the lamp gonna save that Genji for a little bit longer, but not long enough. Interesting window here. Going to be able to pick up two. BAP just kind of in the enemy spawn. Not too sure what he's doing here. Not exactly a great idea. Here comes the Riptire for no real reason. Is going to pick up one. However, she does somehow get the... what? Genji? After she died? What? Okay. It looks like LogiSwords are eventually going to get pushed through here. Unless they can somehow remove these last three members, but they will not. So, MicroFish able to complete with 1 minute and 31 seconds. Crucially, they have time. They have more than a minute. Does mean if the other side finishes with no time, they will not have an opportunity to attack again. So, now the goal is to get the opponent down to that overtime at the very least, or just stop them right here now. If they do pull out the Bastion again, which I'm not too sure if they are, they stuck to that Reaper at the end there. A little bit of an odd swap, considering how well the Bastion was working, but they do get the job done. It's going to take quite a bit to secure this. However, Blizzworld, we've seen so many full holds here in the past. They do have that Reaper for front-loaded damage against these these triple tank compositions. Could work out regardless here. MicroFish looking like a whole new beast. They can stay in the fight with LogiSwords. Can give Blazing Magi the path towards a #1 seed in the Never Back Down division. Here comes LogiSwords. Two picks coming through here, 3 picks. MicroFish able to hold on here for the first offense at least. However, LogiSwords, as we know, also did the same on their defense, so it could very quickly change here. It comes to momentum. Sticking to that May pick, they have been pretty solid about it. Alright, gonna pop both of her bubbles there. She's gonna fall very quickly. She does manage to get bat before she goes down. So no healing on the side of MicroFish. And they do win the trade wars here a little bit. However, Orisa gonna fall. Malga's still barely up. Reaper here, however, is going to take that pick. However, he's gonna fall, and it looks like just barely LogiSwords are gonna come out on top there with that May. So MicroFish going back to the drawing board here in spawn. LogiSword's gonna start pushing this thing. MicroFish looking to find a foothold in this series. If they can pick up this map, it would be a huge boon to them. However, not going to get it done like that. First 3 picks immediately going over to LogiSwords here. Malga's probably not long for this world. And that will just be it. So LogiSword's going to keep this thing moving. MicroFish really struggling to throw hands with this squad. Significantly has been consistently... Okay, this is not where they spawn. That's right. I'm being dumb. They spawn over here. Spawn a little bit closer. Okay. Comes the May ult. Going to find a lot of members here of MicroFish. Gonna result in a very quick teamfight win here for LogiSwords. Junkrat up top, but he's very low. Reaper on the outside looking in. He is getting frozen, and he should drop, maybe? Looks like the remaining members of MicroFish are not long for this world. It is a 5-on-2 currently. They will eventually fall. Genji getting a little bit overzealous here. He's going to invest. Orisa does fall. However, they're going to need a lot more than that. They don't quite have the staying power, so LogiSword's just going to keep on pushing through. They will be at 4 minutes plus. They do have a lot of time to get through this 3rd point. Will be a 4-on-4 here. Very interesting breakout to this fight. Widowmaker gonna fall here. The Reaper ult does come through. It doesn't find anything though. Sorry, gonna go down. Trades gonna be pretty much favoring LogiSwords just because they have that spawn advantage no matter what. A lot of ults being used here. We have the Cage Blade. Actually works out quite well here. And it looks like MicroFish gonna come out on top here. Continue the spawn camp. 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Not a whole lot of time to work with. If they start losing some fights anyways. They do give up some space here. Junkrat's gonna fall, and this is eventually gonna be MicroFish dying here, I think. So LogiSword's eventually gonna push through this spawn hole. They do have a whopping 3 minutes here to get through this final curve. However, if they leave the payload back like that, they are going to run out of time very quickly. They're going to have about a minute or 2 minutes when they reach this corner. Oh, Genji could fall here. He is indeed going to go down. Widowmaker falling on the other side, though. Trades, however, majorly favoring LogiSwords at the moment. Okay, it's about even. I believe LogiSwords are currently 1 up. Oh, now they're 2 up. Alright, so they have about 2 minutes when they reach this corner. They should finish with more time here. However, we are going to see one more touch. See if the Malga can stay alive for much longer. It's not looking good at all here for MicroFish. Losing your Malga that early into the fight, not a great thing at all. Zarya could go down here. If she falls, they might have a chance in this one, but Widowmaker getting some excellent picks off 2 there at the end. And no touches coming through here. Ooh, okay, Malga barely gets on. Might be able to just bring the time bank below them. So actually, MicroFish having a bigger time bank here now. And they do have a couple more opportunities to attack this thing. And they could slip it underneath MicroFish if they're not careful. Oh boy, that was a terrible, terrible, terrible charge. Here comes the Riptire. It might find 2 members of... It does indeed find 2 members. Do they C9 here, though? Zarya wrapping around. She's going to be spotted out by the enemy team. She is going to fall so very quick, and under a minute remains here. Now, if they can get it to overtime, they can guarantee themselves at least the draw. If they stop them here, though, they just win. They only need to hold on for 45 more seconds. Baptiste should be back in time for this next fight. Can't worry about that too much. They are leaving this payload, though. If they leave it too far away, they will not be able to grab a touch here. Uh-oh. They are going to let it C9 through, aren't they? And that will be it. So 30 seconds remain. They do give themselves an opportunity to attack at least once. However, you have to be so okay with that as you get an extra 30 seconds to your time bank for your own attack. This could be a draw, though, if you're not careful. All right. All right, 1 minute here. LogiSwords only have a minute to attack this thing. They have to pretty much win this first fight. However, they lose Zarya immediately. Not a great sign for them at all. Mei does pick off 1, though. Can they convert off of this? Genji getting very low on the outside. However, so many members on each team are very low here. And it does look like LogiSwords are just coming out on top here. So they will be able to hold them off. And I think that's just going to be it. Zarya is going to go for one more touch here. I don't think she has the staying power, though, to sustain into these triple DPS. She's coming up. She should drop very quickly here. She does go down. BAP is returned. OT is triggered, but I don't think there's a touch coming, so MicroFish have a chance to give themselves a map here. They have 2 minutes to do it, too, so A little bit more time than the enemy team got. And that extra time you were given, since they didn't do it with over a minute, is looking real nice right now. All right, here we go. Two opportunities about here for MicroFish to take this map away and make it a 1-1 series. LogiSwords gotta be nervous. Could drop a map here. Here comes MicroFish. Gonna charge in very aggressively here from the Mauga. Sorry, getting very low. However, she is gonna be able to sustain through most of this. She does eventually go down. It's looking like MicroFish are gonna take this second map. Widowmaker finds one. Can she do much more than that? No, it doesn't look like she will, so that is going to be it. MicroFish, take map 2. We are in a 1-1 series, headed into map 3. Series? Series. Excuse me, English. Alright. Here we go. Can't wait to see what this map has in store for us. What is it gonna be? New Queen Street, so this should be a quicker map than the last two. Usually about the quickest maps we have in Overbots. Actually, well, okay, not necessarily. If it goes the full 10 minutes, it's not very fast, but usually it's a one-way shutout, and it ends pretty quick. Other than that, I say maybe Deathmatch could be quicker at times. Anyways. Get the Torb pick for LogiSwords against the Soldier. Going to be massive here for both these squads. Torb is an absolutely huge pickup here for LogiSwords. Soldier almost does work, but Torb and Junker Queen gonna be the last ones remaining here. LogiSword's gonna start pushing this thing. Here comes MicroFish, able to take that one back. Looks like LogiSwords are going to come out on top of this one. Momentum quickly shifting back and forth here. You win a fight, I win a fight. You win a fight, I win a fight. Should see quite a bit of progress gained from that fight win, though. Could be a checkpoint. Have to see if any contest can come through before they get it. Actually, there might be a contest here before they can push this thing in. Here comes the Mauga. Does he get the touch? A Widowmaker immediately dropped in. No, they will not get the checkpoint crucially here for MicroFish. They stop them. And they will eventually take this fight. MicroFish very dominant in that one. Back and forth. Duel after duel. We will see a fight before this checkpoint, more than likely. Gonna have both teams right on the cusp of getting checkpoints, but not quite able to make it happen. Here comes the aimbot through the window. However, a massive ultimate comes out here from the rampaging queen. It's gonna result in them finally taking checkpoint, I think. So they will take this checkpoint. Mauga just barely missing the touch there. That's going to be the first one to fall, and this is looking like it's going all the way of LogiSwords, so good on them here. LogiSwords just fully taking control now. They are probably going to go up 2-1 in the series. Has been a lights out for them since that third or fourth fight. However many fights it took. That will be LogiSwords winning. No, they're up 2-1 now. They only need one more map. And they will secure this one. Circuit Royale could be the last map of the series. Or we'll see if MicroFish can keep themselves in this one. MicroFish currently down 1-2. They are going to need anything they can get here. I'm gonna pull out that Mei against the Hanzo. I think I like MicroFish's pick here on that DPS a little bit more. May, very strong hero. Hanzo, we've seen some good performances from too, though. So he shall not be underestimated here. Bap immediately gone. And wow, okay. LogiSwords absolutely shut down MicroFish for that first offense. And LogiSwords just continuing to dominate MicroFish here on this fourth map after New Queen Street. This hasn't even looked close. LogiSwords just need to hold out for another minute and 10 here. The meterage is astoundingly low here so far. It does seem like they'll eventually be able to win a fight here, but my oh my, did that take a while. LogiSwords went in a little early here. I'm not too sure how I think about this. A little bit of a throw here from LogiSwords, I feel like. They should all spawn in time for one more fight, but okay. Like I said, they should all be there for the final fight, though, so those picks really don't matter here. Everything should be in line for this final fight. Everything's getting off the payload, though. Baptiste does make a smart decision. He goes back. Tire gonna be wasted on that Zarya bubble. We will see one more fight. Torb gonna be back. Genji gonna be back. All of LogiSwords should be here at least at some point. Comes the MicroFish blade and cage combo. No real touches coming through here for MicroFish, and they're going to C9. That could just be how this campaign ends for MicroFish against LogiSwords. Boom, boom, boom. Bap gonna fall immediately. LogiSwords looking to take this 3-1 in convincing fashion after that second map mix-up on Hollywood. Does look like they should be able to get the job done here. Going in pretty deep onto that Widow. However, this does pretty much look like it's over here. Trades here, gonna favor LogiSwords. Okay, yeah, that's it. And that will be it. A 3-1 for LogiSwords to close out the week. Very good showing from them.